Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. We're still partway through week 3. I say partway through week 3 of the fall. We're in the final 3 days of this particular week. Not of the season, we've still got a little bit to go. Now, I need more ginger. As we can see, I still don't have anywhere near the amount that I'm actually going to need of a part of this. Not saying it's ridiculous, but it is quite an arduous challenge in that. But the trouble with ginger is that you can't guarantee its spawn, unless secretly there is actually a way and I'm just ignorant of it. But for now, I'm aware of no way of doing so. So, I just have to keep visiting Ginger Island on a daily basis and see what's there. Now, the bookseller is in town today, so a quick visit over here to see if anything from the Hot Air Balloon Express is of interest or use to me at the moment. Woodcutters Weekly, no. There's essentially just one book that I need, and I've just got to find it. That's the tricksy thing, is finding said book. So it looks like it's not for sale today. That's not the end of the world, it's just a little bit disappointing, because I want that book, whatever it might be. And as soon as I can obtain it, well, then I'm in a much better position, because then I'll have achieved all of the books and I'll feel better about myself. Which, you know, it's a small target, small goal, but it's what I want to do. So let's see what we can find here today. So we're going to head on over to Ginger Island, and I think we should head on over and see what we can find. Fingers crossed, it's a bunch of ginger. Like a silly amount. So it looks like the corn, blueberries, strawberries, tomatoes and cranberries are ready. Oh, as well as the eggplant as well. Fantastic. Oh, and it also looks like some of the seasonal crops, the broccoli and summer squash are available as well. Fantastic stuff. So let's quickly scythe and get that. Oh, better water that one random starfruit that I keep accidentally planting like a moron. But at least that's that now done, and we don't have to worry about it for a little bit. Because, yeah, that's going to annoy me otherwise, which is, I think, perfectly reasonable. Okay, so we've got a very full inventory, so I think I might need to go and see if I can empty it out a little bit. And the question is going to be, what can I dispose of? What do I not really need? Well, any of the iridium crops, I think, is the first answer on that one, because I just don't need them right now. And one of the things that I think I'm going to do when it comes around to year 5, should I need to do year 5, because my aim is to complete a completionist run in 4 years. Now, because essentially I've already done the perfection, I did that in 3 years, but I'd like to achieve the additional bits of perfection plus that were added with the 1.6 update. So that is a few other things that need to be done. So I've just got to see what that is, really. And once I can get all that I need, huzzah! Right, I want all the mushrooms are going to get slapped into the dehydrators, because what I've found out through blind luck, I think, really, is that fruit in them is okay. It's not. It is more financially potent to you to instead grab it all and slap it in to make wine. Of course, that's much more time consuming. So if you've got a large stock of it and you need money fast, the dehydrator is far better. But for mushrooms, where there's not as many things that you can do with mushrooms, it is actually slightly better to utilize the dehydrator, especially with purple mushrooms, because it gives you quite a significant increase in value. So that's going to be where I'm going to go for from there. Now, since that money isn't really the be-all and end-all of my current gameplay at the moment, so we're going to give things a try. Oh man, I can't be bothered to do the Grange again. I always do that one. Let's hurt myself. Now, I have played a little bit of Junimo Kart previously, and anyone who's seen a few of my videos previously will probably have watched me struggle, scream and cry and want to die, because my god am I bad at it. Like, it is genuinely shocking how awful I am at Dynamo Kart. And the thing is, I just can't figure out how it's supposed to play. I mean, I'm Journey of the Prairie King. Yeah, I can do that. I've done loads of side-scrolling sort of thing. Well, it's not even side-scrolling, is it? I've done loads of games in the similar vein to it. I mean, remember there was one on my BBCB. Well, not physically on it, but I had a floppy disk with a game that was very reasonably similar. I'm trying to even remember what it was called, but I definitely had one. Because I had a weird, but wonderfully weird childhood in that my father was very obsessed with technology as a teacher. And he was one of the first teachers in the UK who was very adamant about getting computers into schools. So it meant that we had in our house a BBC B Micro, which I think for American fans out there, it's a very big, chunky computer. It was actually designed and sold, but well, maybe not designed specifically, but it was designed for and sold by the BBC. Hence, it was a BBC Micros, but the British Broadcasting Company microcomputer. And it was a chunky thing, and it used the 5¼ inch floppy drive, and all sorts of educational games were released on it, as well as a few others. But I was quite lucky because I had that. I got to play around with one, and I also had an Amstrad, which is essentially our version of The Apprentice in the UK. Had the man who ran the Amstrad company, Alan Sugar. He was an interesting character. Hasn't tried to run for Prime Minister, though. Anyway, what I'm essentially getting to is that I've played loads of weird and wonderful games. I just cannot figure out for the life of me how I'm supposed to beat Dynamo Kart. Maybe it's just I don't have the reflexes, or I'm just terrible. The latter is most likely, to be fair. I mean, I'm no spiffing Brit. I can't exactly just go and exploit the hell out of everything. That's not my jam. But anyway, silliness aside, because there's always silly, I am going to exchange my 999 coal, and I am getting a piano. Because I've been holding off a little bit, which is a little silly, but I really wanted, and I wanted it for ages, and it's going in my dining room, where the piano should live. Mostly because I kind of view that the dining room is on the first floor, or ground floor, depending on choice of English. And I view that trying to lug a piano up a flight of stairs is tantamount to madness, because they're really heavy. And the thing is, I have an upright piano. They're massive. And getting that into my not tiny house, I have a small home, but not tiny, very difficult. Happened, but it was difficult. Anyway, daftness aside, I'm going to move the dining room table over a little bit. I think moving that over a smidgen is probably the best shout here. And once I've moved that over, the piano can sit there, and then I'll just reset the table, and that would be lovely. Wonderful stuff. We've got a piano, and I'm feeling pleased, because it's a great thing. I would highly recommend anyone who does know how to play a piano. I could probably tell you it takes a heck of a lot of work, because it's not an impossible instrument to play, but something, because I learned it from a young age, as my driving instructor actually told me, because he was also a piano teacher, was that students of his who had previously learned how to play the piano typically pass their driving tests first or faster, in the same way that students who also had played a percussion instrument like a drum kit, because you get very used to cycling between hand-eye coordination for reading the sheet music, being able to turn pages whilst you're playing, as well as being able to use both hands and both feet at the same time, which I think is perfectly reasonable, even if it is a bit odd. But hey, it works, and definitely nothing to be sniffed at. So that was an odd sort of thought process on that one, but hey, that's what it was. And yeah, that's how that goes. Okay, otherwise silliness aside for today. No, it's 6:40, and I think I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to do today. Well, obviously trying to gather more resources, because, yes, and I need to see Jodie, because I have the jade for her, because that's what she asked for, and she has asked kindly for some jade. Oh dear, making little soup, and we'll just hand that over there, and off we trot. Now, ooh, bins, lovely. Oh, I can't go to the bin. Oh, okay, I skipped past that a bit quickly there, but that... Now, Penny's not my favourite of the bachelorettes, I think is probably the nicest way of putting it. I'm not keen on her as a bachelorette. But that's little bit of dialogue is kind of depressing. Also, where the hell is Demetrius? He's supposed to be there dancing with Robin, but apparently he's phased out of existence. Maybe he has a DeLorean. Who knows? That's very, very weird. Oh well. That's how that goes. You know, he's gonna do weird stuff, I guess. Okay, right. So let's try this Dynamo kart and see how bad I am at it. This is gonna hurt, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Right. Yep. Jump again. Jump again. Oh. So I hit the thingy that means that I come back there. So that's, you know, that's doing better than usual. Well, I fell off again. I shouldn't talk, should I? I am painfully bad at this. Come on. Damn, I jumped too hard. Damn. Okay, so that was bad. Right, so let's try that again. Maybe I should just practice playing other platformers, because I'm just so bad at this. I hate Dynamo Kart. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. No, that didn't go well. The thing is, growing up, I played loads of platformers. I played loads of Sonic the Hedgehog on my Mega Drive. Because... Oh, Sega Genesis, sorry. For the American audience. That was the Genesis over in the UK for some reason. But yeah, I was... Sorry, the Mega Drive in the UK. But come on. Surely I should be able to do this, but apparently not. I am just atrocious. And this disappoints me endlessly, as one might be able to anticipate. Because, hey, I'm trying. So I'm giving up for now, because, no, I just can't be bothered. I'm bad at it, and it hurts. I think is the nicest way of putting it. It hurts my soul to try to play Dynamo Kart. I need to get better at it. But maybe now is not the time. Even though I've foolishly set myself that task of trying to play Dynamo Kart for Mr. Key. I mean, it's a foolish errand of mine on that one. I just don't have the coordination to play it. Now, I will definitely hark a big, fantastic shout out to my follower who decided that, well, not decided, recommended that I use a hopper with the bone mill, because that is fantastic. It's just constantly producing me some fertilizer, which is excellent. I'm always going to need that. Well, maybe not always, but, you know, it's a good use for all of the random bones and stuff that I get, and because I can just store them more effectively, which, you know, I feel better about, because I've got something to do with damn things. Because otherwise, it's just going to take up space. And yes, I know I've got a little stockpile of some of them, which I could use to make some of the rings, but I think I've already made them. And I'm sure there are other purposes one might be able to have for the bones, but right now I can't think of any. Oh well. I have a feeling that there's not much else that I can do today, so I think it's probably going to be a surprising, unusual early night for me. Because I've grabbed the ginger that's available and I've sold that off. That's fine. I mean, again, nothing else I can do with that really right now. And yeah, I think that's probably the earliest I've ever gone to bed in this game. Unless, well, outside of deliberately trying to skip time for one of the shorts videos that I've been making. Yeah, that is odd. Righty, so let's quickly go and have a look and see. What's the weather report? Okay, it's going to rain all day tomorrow, so that's good, I guess. I do like it when it rains, because it means I have to do less watering, but right now, don't really care. And I think when it comes to year 4, because this is my rambling point that I was going to try to make, is I do think that I'm going to choose to not bother with the quality fertilizers. I'm better off, honestly, going for fertilizer that's going to give me like retain the water or increase the speed of growth, because in truth there's not much point in quality for me, because I use everything to turn into alcohol. There's very little purpose for it. In the same way, I wouldn't mind reorganizing the shed, actually. And if I was to reorganize what's in the shed, I could, again, put just permanently fertilized stuff down, and then not have to worry, really, because that'd be 4 more spaces that are opened up for my sprinklers, which is good. Maybe I think that's a good idea. I mean, 4 more ancient fruit plants, but the thing is, though, I do have enough seeds for it. It's not like it's the end of the world, but it will take some time for them to grow. And, yeah, I'll live. It's not like it's the end of the world level of stuff to deal with. So, yeah, I think that's going to be what I'm going to try. Right. Excuse me. I'm going to grab those mushrooms and go from there. So, let's see, what else can we organize today? Well, I don't think there's much else more with regards to that. So I'm going to reorganize those chests, dump stuff in there, and as I'm going to go through and just get more coal, I do need to set more charcoal burning, because yes, and actually using coal to put into the hoppers so that I can continually produce greater quantities of steel, well, not steel, sorry, iron, and, well, I mean, I know it's the same metal-ish. Yeah, so same, I need to make the metals that are on smelting and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, stuff and things and occasionally colouring in. So, we're going to give that a go. We've got lots of milk because, foolishly, like a moron, I haven't been into my shed for a few days. So I have neglected to see my cows, and I'm just going to put those there. I've also got a few animal crackers, like a few of those golden crackers that give you double production. Now, I know that all the chickens have them. Well, all the golden ones definitely do. And I think I need to make sure that the void chickens do as well. Once that's been done, then I can kind of look at the other animals. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should do the cows. I think maybe the cows should be a better one because I don't really have much. I mean, yes, I do have production of milk, but I wouldn't be upset with having more production of milk, really, would I? That would be nice. Which is interesting as somebody who is mildly lactose intolerant. We are an interesting bunch, as I will suffer through cheesy death to eat a pizza. However, hilariously, my lactose intolerance is very frustrating in that I can eat ice cream, I can eat yogurts, I can drink milk, I can have milk in my tea, and no bad issues at all. If I eat cheese, though, well, no, time to die. And that's very annoying, as I'm sure you might be able to imagine. But general madness aside on that front, let's grab some ancient fruit, slap that in there. Now, of course, you can see I've got my lovely kegs and preserve jars that outside. Aha! Now we can, if we fill our preserve jar outside the front of this shed here, we can then make it so it's easy to know when they're mostly ready. Yes, I know they're not going to all be ready, but what I should probably have done is, well, when the next harvest comes in of them, in a few days, I will come in here with some fairy dust, and I will force ready the other ones that aren't ready. Now, of course, most of the issues I've got with that is because I still have sturgeon, and I do really need to get rid of them. because sturgeon roe to make caviar does take a lot longer. As in, sorry, a lot longer. Another extra day. So that then means that the entire sequence is a bit of a bamboozled mess, and it's very annoying. So I need to deal with that. And once I've got rid of the sturgeon, then, well, I'm in a better place in a sense. I'm kind of debating getting rid of 2 of the fish ponds. Now, I know that is going to involve a little bit of work. Not very much, but a little bit. And I'm going to get rid of the midnight squid, because I've got plenty of squid ink now, and it's not really that useful. It's used in a couple of recipes, but not like much. And I'm also going to get rid of the sturgeon. I'm going to keep the super cucumber. Well, I say that because I mean, super cucumber roe is reasonably valuable. I had them because they could produce iridium ore, which again, very, very useful. But really, right now, maybe not so much. Maybe I'm genuinely better off not worrying about that and actually just have lava eels. Maybe 2 lava eels? Maybe. I mean, I could always fish out half of them and just whack them in the other one and just go from there, couldn't I? Again, not really the end of the world if I make either decision. It's just I probably should make a decision on that. It's just a shame. Obviously, I can't put the legendary fish in there because obviously then you'd have a ridiculous way of multiplying them. Now, this room isn't going to be quite as benefited from a thing outside because, of course, it has a multitude of different things on the go in here. So I'm not as worried or concerned about doing the same as I have done with some of the, well, let's say the other sheds. But for now, I've got some sheds, I've got some stuff, and I feel quite pleased with the way that that's kind of working. And there we go. Let's slap some oranges in, and we'll put some mangoes in because mango jam. Now, having tried a lot of mango-related products, I can imagine a mango jam would be lovely. And, well, I've tried a mango mead recently. That was fantastic. Fruit infusions. It's always lovely. But let's see. It would be nice if I could make some more. I do need to make more alcohol, and I probably should make more coffee, if I'm honest about it, considering how many coffee beans I've got in here. I mean, look at that. That is a stack. And, of course, having more coffee is kind of helpful because I'm going to need it because I need to turn it into espresso. But at the same time, maybe, just maybe, I might have, perhaps, too many coffee plants. Don't know. The thing that annoys me about coffee is the fact that you do have to, it's more manually applied. It might sound a bit daft when I say it like that, but the thing is you have to put it in to each of the kegs like I am now by wiggling my controller around because it's a little bit more fiddly. I think because it's a stack of 5 rather than an individual bean. So, I mean, hey, if there's another update coming, I'd love to see that addressed so I can just run down and just slap silly amounts of coffee in because I want my caffeine fixed, thank you please. Says the man currently drinking a large cup of coffee in the evening. I am not an intelligent man, I think is probably the easiest way of putting it. So yeah. Anyway, general madness aside, we have a few other things we can sort out there. So we've got lots of coffee on the go, which is nice, and we've used up a good chunk of our mess of, well, mess of at least, lots of coffee that we did have. So we're gonna get rid of it, and we're gonna throw all of these in and make some money. Again, not really any of which we need, which I know sounds awful really at this point in the game, but at the same time, I've bought everything and. Maybe reorganising the way the farm looks, maybe getting rid of the slime hutch, because the slime hutch, I feel like it's not really doing much for me. It's a thing, but I don't care. Which I know sounds awful, but it's just like, it's a thing. And I don't care for it so much. It's not something I'm super bothered about. So maybe I will get rid of it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But I am also going to... I realised that I hadn't actually enchanted my pan. Ever since the upgrade became available within the 1.6 update, being able to upgrade your pan from copper to iridium, and now that there is the generous enchantment that you can put on it, which increases the yields of stuff that you get out of it, you know, it's actually something that for me to bother carrying. I mean, I hadn't done previously a lot of the time because it was very much of a meh, doesn't matter so much. But now, yeah, it's actually worth carrying, I feel. And as long as I can find some of these golden sparkly doojobbies, you know, that's the technical term for the golden sparkles in the river, don't you know, the doojobby. I can potentially fish up some really interesting things, which, yeah, I'm never going to be upset about. So, yeah. We'll see what we find. I mean, if we find anything, that's a very different question, because, maybe. Maybe. But, yeah, we've got a few things to try to find. And one of those things is going to be watering this starfruit. Sploosh. I can't see any in the river. I'm quite disappointed by this. Very annoying. Not like the end of the world, but it would be nice to find it. Like, at least. Well, not it, but, you know, find one, at least. Come on. Well, let's get some more. Oh, another golden coconut. I'm not too upset about that. I'm always going to find lots of those, I think. Well, hopefully I'll find lots of those, because I do want them. They are kind of handy. Because, I mean, yes, I know I can crack them open, and one might be able to find shiny, shiny things. But who knows? We'll see. And I guess that's the thing, though, isn't it? There's a few items that are particularly good, I would suggest. And I've not found anything... Again, nothing in the rivers again. I'm really hoping that I can find something now, because that's getting a little frustrating. I know that sounds a bit silly and maybe melodramatic, but I really would like to try and see what one can obtain from, you know, the decent quantity of stuff that I can get out of a generous enchanted iridium pan. So, yeah. And other noises. Because, yeah, I want to know. But oh well. We'll find out, I'm sure. We'll find out soon enough. Okay, but for now, we're going to head back to the farm, and what other things can I do today? Well, I'm going to sell the things that I don't need, and I do really need, I should probably try buying some more of the sweet gemberry, like the rare seeds, especially if I was to put down, like speed grow. Because like the really good quality speed grow does give you quite a, I think it's 33%. So if it's 28 days, that's going to shave off about 9 days worth. I mean, you're not going to get 2 harvests in a season. But I guess within Ginger Island, it might work out quite well. I guess. Maybe. Again, it's just I'm having a thought, which is dangerous, as we should all know, as I am a raging moron. So yeah. So yes, other silliness aside, I'm just sort of rambling again to myself. Okay, so let's quickly go down and visit the animals, because the animals need to be visited, because that's how this works. Okay, so we've got 2 more. So that's the caviars ready. They're going to be replaced with summer squash because, yeah, why not? And let's see what else we can do. I mean, hopefully something. That is the question. Ah, look at all the coffee that's ready. So the coffee's going to just end up in the fridge for now. Because I'm saving up at the moment. Only because I know I've got some key seasoning, and I probably should just remove the key seasoning out of the fridge and put it in the chest near the door. because that way then it doesn't accidentally get used. But as we know, I'm a moron, so dumb stuff like that is likely to happen, unfortunately. So well, let's make some banana wine instead of the coffee. I mean, a good old bit of caffeination is good, but alcohol, you say? Yes, please. Now, come now. What can we do here? Well, we're going to make some eggplant juice, whatever the hell that tastes like. So eggplants or aubergines, they've never been a vegetable I've ever been particularly fond of. I mean, I've eaten them a couple of times, but they're not a plant that I'm super, super keen on. I think it's probably the best way of describing it. I mean, everyone's got that at some point, haven't they? They've got a food item that they're just not bowled over by, I think is probably the best way of describing it. And mine just happens to be aubergine. So yeah, sorry aubergines, you just don't do it for me. And the thing is, though, I say that as somebody who was originally very much not into leeks and tried leeks more recently and actually felt, yeah, actually those are pretty good. And I think that's the thing. Like I'm happy to try things again, and I think that might be a sign of maturity, or it's just a sign of sheer idiocy. But then again, I have read stories of an American general, I believe, during the Civil War, who was adamant about only eating foods he disliked, and was fond of sucking on lemons. He was a very strange man. But he'd eat foods he didn't like until he developed a taste for them, and then he stopped eating them. Which, again, eh? I mean, I could also be making that up, because I don't know if that anecdotal tale is a real one. If I am correct, please do point out that particular general to me, because I don't know. Again, though, it's not really the end of the world if they are a real person or not. They were somebody I just randomly thought of. I think I even read about them in a book somewhere. Not sure why. But, right, so we're going to go and find lava crabs. Well, crabs in general. They've got to be around here somewhere, haven't they? I mean, I was hoping they'd be around here somewhere. That's probably the best way of putting it, isn't it? Now, where are they? Where could they be? I mean, they're only rocks, and I guess with my arrow thing, that'll kind of give me a they're there, boss sort of moment, which is, again, kind of helpful. So let's see. I mean, hopefully we've got something good coming around, and we can find out what we've got going on around here. Lots of these horrible shadow demon creatures. I don't like them. Ugh. The thing is, like, if all of, like, Krobus's people, the shadow people, look like Krobus, yes, they're a little bit intimidating, but they're not that terrifying. These guys, they're like the Redead out of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Absolutely bloomin' terrifying. Well, more to the point, they were absolutely terrifying when I was a child and I played the Ocarina of Time for the first time through, and one of them sat on my neck and tried to eat my face. That was a horrifying moment, and believe me, my brother and I were not impressed. I say impressed. We were both absolutely petrified. We were like, what on earth is this madness? Same as the monster at the bottom of the well with the horrible, that white, rotting, drowned-looking flesh, and it was horrible. Didn't like that one. Anyway, back to some Stardew silliness. I realised that maybe I'm looking on the wrong floor for these crabs. Maybe they appear more so in here. I thought they would appear more on this floor. Apparently not, and it is also much later than I had expected. It is almost 1 AM, so I probably need to get back to house and get back to bed, because I do not want to pass out. Thank you very much. So let's just flatten this spider, and I think we should get the heck out of Dodge, because that's how this works. Right, so let's deposit a few things in the chests that we've got in the shed, just to get rid of them for now. And then, well, we can at least be happy in the knowledge that we've actually got rid of some stuff, which is good. I'm all about depositing things. Again, it's me trying to be organised, and I think that it's an always entertaining concept when it's somebody who's a bit neurospicy like me, and is trying desperately to be organised, in the face of being a scatterbrained moron, which is fantastically silly. Because I know I'm an idiot, and I know I'm just going to keep doing the wrong thing. But, oh well, I'm still going to keep doing it. I'm going to still keep trying. Because that's how this works. Well, we've made ourselves another 173,000 today, so that's a reasonably good day. I'm feeling pretty pleased with that. So now, I think it is time that we... well, that's the question, isn't it? What do I want to try? Well, we're definitely going to go and try and flatten the crabs, because that needs to happen today. There's no ifs and or buts about that one. The crabs need to die. Just because they're there and they just need to go away, and I don't like them. You can tell I'm having one of those days, can't you? Yes, but that's my logic, is we're going to flatten crabs, and otherwise, though, I wouldn't mind having a look through and starting to try and catch more eels. Now, I don't think they're available during the autumn. I think they're a winter fish, maybe? I'll have to check the fishing channel, that'll tell me. But, yeah, I want to try and catch some more eels so I can make more spicy eel, and because I do have all that key seasoning that I have previously mentioned, I can at least make it particularly good and give me a better, well, longer lasting, everything's better. Everything is wonderful sort of TM. So, yeah, that's the plan there at least. How well that's going to work, I'm not sure. Right, let's grab those purple mushrooms. I'm all about some purple mushrooms. Because, yes, why would I not be? You know what? I should probably get some mushroom seeds and just start planting them everywhere. Maybe I should turn the quarry into a fungus forest. Why did I not think of that earlier? Because I've been using it as a forest ground for ages. And the thing is, like, I do grow a lot of wood there. I mean, hadoy. But I'd not thought about mushrooms. I mean, it could be a mushroom sanctuary, a grove of shrooms, mushroomy goodness. Yeah, that's gonna happen. That's what's happening now. So I need to get some more of those seeds, more mushroom seeds for the trees, and then yes. It's weird when I have one of those ideas that I go, yes, this is the best plan ever. And, in fact, it's probably not going to be the best plan ever, and it probably won't actually work. But it's happening. No ifs and or buts. It's happening. For now, however, I would kind of like... I mean, it's Sunday. It's quite early in the day. I want to go and visit Pierre, to be fair, which is an unusual turn of events that I actually want to go and visit Pierre. Let's just root around some trash cans. But it is only because I want to buy some more crops. Thankfully, though, I don't have to worry too much because I'm just going to go and buy... what could grow quickly? Bok choy, pak choy. It's probably my best bet, isn't it? Because that's summer. What else we got? Eggplant, no. Bok choy, yeah. 4 days. The thing is, eggplant is quite a high value return item, I think, because you can plant it really early on. It doesn't take long to grow, and it only costs 20G a seed. So it is a, you know, it's a pretty good, like a pretty good crop, as crops go for value and production. And I don't know what its growth time cycle, reproduction cycle is, but you know, it's not bad, is it? I don't think. So yeah, I think that wouldn't be a terrible thing to try to do. So, other silliness aside that we've got going on there. So we've got loads of the unneeded caviar. I say unneeded. It's nice to have, but I am going to get rid of it because I don't really need it so much. I mean, it's nice and all, but don't really care. So yeah. So I'm going to slap some of the milk in there. See what we get. Hopefully something good. You never know. You never know. Oh, goodness. Look at all that mayonnaise. So much mayo. All the mayo. Just reminds me of a... So I watch a few different... quite an esoteric mix of odd stuff on YouTube. And one of the things that I watch is an employment lawyer. Maybe not an employer. I don't know if he's a lawyer, actually. I think he's just like an employer. And he's turned... I can't remember the name of his channel now. That's the worst part. He's quite an entertaining character because he was saying about dumb stuff that employers do. And, yeah, it's very funny. Awful, but funny. Especially since he is saying, oh, yes, today the company is going to provide... He showed a screenshot, and it looks like it's clearly fake. I mean, one hopes it's fake. Because if a company's genuinely chosen to do this, to give its employees a reward... You've got to ask some questions. And it is that the employees are being treated to a free snack on the company. It's like, yeah, that's kind of nice. Well, what do we got? Mayonnaise. Nothing else? Not like egg mayonnaise sandwiches or, you know, something interesting like that. No. Mayo. Nothing else. Just mayo. Now, if a company has genuinely decided that that is the plan of action here, questions really, really do need to be asked. Because... What? At what point do you decide, as a company, that a snack of just mayo is a thing? What? That being said, as we've discovered previously, the only one in Stardew Valley who enjoys watching somebody chow down on a big old jar of mayo is Sandy, and that's why she lives out in the desert like a weirdo. Yeah, there was a ridiculous short where I mentioned that. I might even link that in the description because that was very funny. Like, bizarre, flat out weird to discover that. Because I was just wandering around eating mayonnaise, like one does. And I wanted to see who might actually, if anyone had a different, you know, dialogue line for it. And she enjoys it. It's like, okay, weirdo. And it's so bizarre. Anyway, rambling aside, let's just grab some more raisins so those can go into the Junimo huts. I think at the same time I probably do have enough of these Junimo hut goodies that I don't actually need to worry about replanting them. Well, not replanting them, sorry, but more like using the grapes for from like making wine. I could probably do that again. Because the thing is, I've got those Junimo. I've only got 3 Junimo huts. And, yeah. Now, the other thing I was genuinely contemplating is, once I've achieved year 4, and I've completed everything, so I've done all of the extra bits for 1.6, maybe I should have a look at trying to get mods to work again. Now, I did a video around... Goodness, I think it must have been the beginning of the new year of 2014. Not 2014, sorry. It must have been 2023. Goodness, I've been doing this over a year. That's a moment, isn't it? Where I realised that I've been doing this for probably a year and a half now. Goodness. Maybe I should do a 2-year special. Anyway, that's going to be a thing. That's for a future date. I think I did my first video in... Might have even been this time of year. Crikey. I really need to think about that. Anyway, silliness aside on that one. I think, because I did a big old, this is a big mod hunt, and I didn't do great. I managed to download a couple of texture mods, and that was about it. So I'm going to try again, and I am going to endeavour to do better. In the good words of a colleague and friend, just be better. They are always critical of me in many ways. Love them to bits, but my goodness. I'll never be quite good enough to merit a well done. Anyway. I'm just trying to think of like the sorts of mods that I'd like to try to grab. So, I mean, there's quite a few different ones out there. So I think I might do, maybe I'll do it as a live stream. where I go on a mod hunt, or I will... I mean, maybe I could tie that in with a 2-year anniversary on the channel. Some ideas. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Because the thing is, I've also been dabbling with a little bit of live streaming over on Twitch at the moment. Now, what I need to do is actually start being a bit more rigorous and actually setting a schedule for it. Because previously, I tried to do it twice a month on the first and third Sunday. Unfortunately, I keep getting myself in a bit of a tizwaz because I keep ending up with things that I need to do on those days, which is, well, really dumb. I have stuff to do, which is unfortunately getting in the way. So I'm just going to try and be a bit more strict with myself, not plan things for that. So yeah, that's going to be the trick on that one, I think. So let's see what else we can kind of achieve here. Well, we've got fire quartz that can get dumped in there. But yeah, that's going to be a plan for going forwards, I think. For now, however, we have a few other things that we can do, which involve me making a bunch of mad videos, as I have been normally. But for now, we've got all of those pumpkins. Look at those. I mean, they'll be ready soon. I'm looking forward to their harvest. I might even turn off the Junimo. Like, I might tell them to not do anything and see if I can get a couple of, like, giant ones. But the thing is, that will feel a little wasteful in the same vein. Because really, I'm then just wasting time. Like, again, though, I don't need the money. But a part of me is like, yeah, but you're not doing things. Do things. I'm an idiot. The short answer for it. Well, it looks like the Gatoro Empire doesn't have it. Oh, I can get something out of the water here. Gold, fire, omni, and a stone. I mean, again, it's not exactly a bad haul, is it? That's the thing is, like, with the generous boost that it gives you, it's quite a significant increase, and I would highly recommend it. It is genuinely fantastic and absolutely phenomenal how much you can get out of them. Like the generous enchant, essentially I only realised that was a thing because I was mucking about with one for a short video that I was making, and I didn't realise, as I was just in the volcano, that actually I could enchant it, and I'm really glad that I found out that that was a thing. Because, hey, the generous enchant is very, very useful. I'm never going to be upset about that. Righty. So, having reread what I need to do, I've noticed that I missed a very key point here. It says lava crab. Did I read that the first time and go to the correct floors? No, of course I didn't. I went rambling through thinking that I was right and that my own decision would be the best one. No, I'm an idiot. So what I've realised is I actually need to go to the lava floors. Who would have guessed? So now, I'm here on the lava floors, and I'm going to murder some crabs. I'm also going to flatten everything else that gets in my way with this hammer. Now die! Now, I know that if I was being optimal and I'm trying to be clever about it, I would have the graceful enchantment and the acrobat perk, just to allow me to spam hammer beatings on everyone. And yes, that is a very effective manner to which one can beat the living hell out of everything. However, I'm very keen on the vampiric enchantment, because that means that I can, you know, keep striving forward and not worry as much. But at the same time, maybe just with the vampire ring, or 2 vampire rings, I could then do slightly better with it. If I had both of those, like that enchant and that upgrade. Because then I could heal more. I don't know. I'm just sort of... I'm very much umming and ahhing about, like, would that be the better option? I'm not sure. At the end of the day, I could always just get another hammer. It's not like I can't have more than one. I do want to have an armory, though. I would very, very much like a display. Like, you've got... Because there is that item display that you can get, which is the sword in the cabinet. And it's really cool, but I would really like it if I could have an actual armory and display my weapons and be like, look at my stabby swords and my hammers and my knives, and, you know, feel glad about having all of those shiny, nasty death implements lying around. Feel like my Skyrim house, because I very much enjoy just having all of the weapon display items. I love having that. It makes me feel good. In the same way I like having the mannequins that allow me to showcase my clothing and my things, and I like having those in Stardew. They're really cool. So yeah, that's a thing. Although I do know that there are cursed mannequins in Stardew, and I really want one. I know you get them from killing well, I think one acquires them from killing monsters. I could be wrong, but that is what I'm led to believe. And if I can get one, oh, I will be a happy, happy man. Because I think the idea of them roaming around the house terrifying my children would be really funny. And probably my wife as well. She'd probably be absolutely petrified. Be like, what on earth is this, husband? Yeah, because, you know, that's exactly how Hayley talks, doesn't it? Goodness gracious, Walrus, you're an absolute wally. No, I can't imagine that Hayley talks like that. I don't imagine that she talks like a valley girl. Well, maybe a valley girl. She's definitely not like a southern belle. In my mind's eye. She is very much Mean Girls. That's my I wouldn't even say headcanon. That's kind of just how I view her mentally. Whether that's the correct assumption to make is a very different question. Very much Regina. It's been so long since I've seen Mean Girls. I might actually watch that again. Very fun movie. Very silly. I mean, oh heck, I don't know why I'm talking about it like that. It's not like it's an unknown movie in this day and age. Who hasn't heard of Mean Girls? Then again, I'll say that, and then I realise how old certain things are. Like, the horrifying realisation that now that I'm nearly 40, yeah, that's a frightening thing. There are certain things that I go, yeah, I remember this, and you go, oh my god, that was a long time ago. As I've said before, like, the fact that I know I was born just after Chernobyl, that's a point in time for people of my generation. And being able to say, like, I remember where I was the day Princess Diana died. That's another one. That's like a point in time of just going, oh. And I wonder what the current younger generation's that point in time is. I'm just genuinely curious. But anyway, odd silliness aside, we're going to quickly reorganise all of this after I've gone to see Demetrius to make sure that he knows that those damn crabs are dead, which is obviously very important. And as he's quite right, they are an invasive species and they need to be put down. And we've put them down, and that's good. However, I think it is time now to get ourselves and get ready to go to bed, because it is almost the end of the day. So I'll bid everybody a very fond farewell as I finish the last grabbing of thingies. I hope you've enjoyed, and please do like and comment. Hey, if you've just subscribed, why don't leave a comment below so I will get back to you and say hi. Tell me why you've subscribed. What made you go, actually, I like this guy? And even if you didn't, why not leave me a comment and say, what don't you like? Because actually, I'm keen to know. Because if there's something that I can change to improve the channel, to make it better, I'm all ears. Because this is a passion project. I want to know. But a big shout out of thank you goes to my Patreon supporters. And I hope to catch every one of you the next time the Walrus plays Stardew Valley.